Welcome to the Expat Democrat podcast with Stacy. This is a podcast for U.S. Democrats who are currently living outside of the United States. Here in Panama, I've noticed a lot of MAGAs who seem to believe that they are the only ones who can hold a microphone. This podcast is my answer to that point of view. Today, we will be talking about what it is like to live in Panama as a U.S. immigrant-expat during the new reign of Trump. Spoiler alert, at the moment, it isn't pretty. On Monday, January 20th, 2025, Trump was inaugurated as POTUS and specifically talked about taking back the Panama Canal again, which he has said before. This has made living here as a United States immigrant expat in Panama suddenly extremely uncomfortable, to put it mildly. Panama's President Molino has already issued a strongly worded statement to Trump for the world to see. Public backlash from Trump's announcement has already begun. Here's what Ben Meiselas from the Midas Touch Network reported on Tuesday about the protests in Panama City.
24 hours burning the U.S. flag and vowing to defend against any Trump-led invasion. By the way, here is some union members, part of this protest, saying neither Trump nor others nor their army have anything to do in Panama. You'll see right here more very, very, very serious images of what the people of Panama are doing in response to Donald Trump's ridiculously offensive speech. Here, play this clip.
Esas declaraciones atrevidas, esas declaraciones agresoras, por ahora verbal, pero también amenazantes, de intervención por la fuerza, tienen que tener un mensaje del pueblo panameño. Y es que no aceptamos bajo ningún criterio la declaración de Trump. Ni Trump, ni los gringos, ni su ejército, ni su gobierno tienen nada.
You may have noticed the flags with sun tracks printed on them in the background of Ben's report. According to Wikipedia, Suntrax is one of the main trade union forces in Panama with 40,000 members and a militant style of class struggle unionism. I have seen for myself how ready this union is to take on a big organization and win. You see, I was here in Panama during the first quantum copper mine protests. Suntrax, union members, the indigenous, and other protesters blocked the main highways and made it nearly impossible to have anyone move between the eastern and western sides of Panama. So the people who lived in Panama City had to do without fresh produce, while people in the western Chiriquí province had to do without eggs, meat, and gas. A few protests went ugly and people died. This went on for a few months until the mine finally cried uncle and ceased operations. Panamanian people are perseverant, proud of their well-earned sovereignty, and will tirelessly defend what they believe is right and just. So this begs the question, why is Trump doing this? Why is he threatening an important ally with military action? Why is he making life harder for the U.S. citizens who live here because they wanted a nice, quiet life? The answer might have something to do with this building. You see, Trump's name used to be on it, but now it belongs to J.W. Marriott due to his tax evasion. I suspect that Trump now wants revenge. In the meantime, Trump has said many things that just aren't true about Panama and the canal. Trump line number one. Quote, China is operating the Panama Canal, and we didn't give it to China, we gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back. The facts. Officials in Panama have denied Trump's claim that China is operating the canal. Recuarte Vasquez, administrator of the canal, noted that Chinese companies operating in the ports on either end of the canal were part of a Hong Kong consortium that won a bidding process in 1997. He added that U.S. and Taiwanese companies are operating other ports along the canal as well. Trump line number two, quote, American ships are being severely overcharged and not treated fairly in any way, shape, or form, and that includes the United States Navy, Trump said on Monday. The facts. Again, Recuarte Vasquez said in an interview with the Associated Press that there's no discrimination in the fees. Trump lie number 3, quote, "The United States, think of this, spent more money than ever spent on a project before and lost 38,000 lives in the building of the Panama Canal." The facts. Matthew Parker, author of Hell's Gorge, The Battle to Build the Panama Canal, said, during the U.S. period of construction from about 1904 to 1914, about 6,000 people died, almost all of whom were from Barbados. About 300 Americans died in this effort. The U.S. immigrant-expat community in Panama has started talking about this threat at length. You can see MAGAs parroting Trump's talking points and sane-washing the threat by calling it a negotiation tactic, which honestly baffles me. Fortunately, others are finally piping up to correct this mis- and disinformation campaign about the canal. But it is very concerning as many U.S. immigrant expats here are voicing their fears and documenting the experiences that they've already had speaking with Panamanians here. We immigrant expats here in Panama are definitely living in interesting times. So now I want to know, what do you think? Let's talk. Please like, subscribe, and add your own 2 cents down below. Until we meet again, thanks for watching the Expat Democrat podcast with Stacy. Goodbye.